Welcome back, my fallible investors. Thank you so much for spending your time with AK as we go on this mysterious trading journey together with the ups and downs and trials and tribulations and love and happiness and Al Green and I don't know where I'm going with this, but thank you for being here. And if you haven't heard, Google just announced that they invested $550 million into the Chinese online retailer JD.com. They're basically taking a 1% stake in the company. So in this video, we're going to talk about why Google invested in JD.com and what it means for JD going forward. You guys remember JD, right? We talked about it in one of our last videos, which if you haven't seen, I'll link to above. But it's basically China's Amazon, but it's a supercharged version because JD owns its entire logistics system, so they don't need like UPS to do the delivering for them. They do it themselves. And remember, the delivery is super fast, like faster than the 2-day Prime. JD actually already has the drones delivering packages. And of course you remember that they're the #1 trusted e-commerce site in China, and that they keep piling their money back into the company to grow, and grow. And the company only has a price to sales ratio of 1, compared to its closest competitor, Alibaba, which has a price to sales ratio of 13. And you guys remember the CEO, Richard Liu, right? The guy who started from the absolute bottom. He was the son of poor peasant farmers in China who had him eating cornbread so dry that his throat was bleeding. But now he's a billionaire, and that's probably why he's smiling all the time. I mean, look at these pictures. This guy smiles more than any other CEO I've ever seen. He's just a happy guy. Look at Richard with the funny face. Great sense of humor. Oh, here's another funny face. Oh, Richard, you're so funny. And look at this funny hat he likes to wear when he rides his bike. This is the type of CEO you want to model yourself after. Not only does he have $1 billion, but he takes care of his health too. Just getting some exercise on his casual bike in the city. Oh, and look at his wife. She is 20 years younger than him. Richard, you cougar. And she's a social media star, all because she drank this milk tea. And I don't really know what milk tea is because I'm pretty sure Indians would just call that chai. But hey, drink some milk tea and become a super popular social media star, and that's what she did. Look how happy they are together, smiling all the time still. Hey, it looks like she even put on some weight after getting married. And judging by these pictures, she's proud of it too. Good for her. That's what I'm talking about. I like to eat a big meal and let it hang out too. Wow, look at these two, such a body positive couple. Richard Liu is really just an example for everybody. What a guy. Okay, anyway, Google invested a large chunk of money into JD.com. So this partnership helps JD because they'll be able to sell their products directly through Google Shopping. And while JD is mostly focused on China right now, they've been trying to move into the US and European markets. And this Google partnership should help them do that. And of course, another benefit of being directly partnered with Google is that your products are going to show up higher on their search results. And we all know that being at the top of Google's search results is the best way to get business. Now, this also helps Google because it puts them in a position to directly compete with Amazon. See, what's been happening is that a lot of ad dollars have been leaving Google and going to Amazon. And there's a good reason why ads have been shifting to the e-commerce site. Because what's the real point of having advertisements? It's to get the consumer to buy something, right? And when someone is already on an e-commerce site with their wallet open looking to buy something, that's the best time to advertise to them. See, if someone's just using Google search, they could be just looking for what their problem really is. Like, what is this fungus on my toe and what should I do about it? But by the time they get to Amazon, they're directly searching for a toe fungus cream, because at that point they're ready to buy to fix their funky feet. And like I said before, when someone is trying to buy something, it's easy to sell them at that point. They're already far enough along in their buyer's journey that they're open and receptive to ads. They're like, oh, now that my toe fungus is gonna be gone, maybe I should get some open toe sandals with some Velcro straps to really show my toes off. And if you're showing an ad for those Velcro strap sandals, then you're in a good position to profit. So it's really easy for a company like Amazon to integrate ads into a shopping experience when someone is already looking to buy. It's much harder for Google to go from random search to ad than to actual purchase. The consumer isn't always in a buying state of mind when they're just searching things on Google. So that's why Google has been teaming up with companies like JD or Walmart in America and even Flipkart in India. They're trying to get into that prime position that Amazon is already in, because it's all about the ad dollars, right? Now take a look at this JD chart. It's following the exact chart pattern that we already talked about in a previous video, which if you haven't seen that, I'll link to that above. But now that it's breaking out, it's very possible that JD doubles by the end of the year. And in the Macros portfolio, we're gonna add to the position that we already have on pullbacks. Now, I already talked about this in the 3 stocks for June video, but it is really important to have your leg in some Chinese tech stocks, because these things, just like the FANG stocks, are gonna be taking off. Consider that for the year ending in March 2018, the top 5 US companies grew at an average of 26%, while the top 5 Chinese companies grew at an average of 33%. China's growth is just faster, and that's because they have 1.4 billion people, which is 4 times the size of the US. And most of them have smartphones and live in really dense urban areas. And the huge amount of people all crammed into these small cities create a lot of opportunities for tech companies, because they can create a solution and scale it much easier than you could in the US. And of course, it helps that the Chinese government does not care about data collection, because of course they love using the data themselves, nor do they care about a few super powerful companies, because from their perspective, it's easier to control that way. So if you're not already, definitely consider JD.com as an investment. But of course, do your own research first, because I don't know your specific investment strategy. I'm just giving you an idea here and telling you what we're doing in our portfolios. And if you want more videos like this where we go over stocks and tell you what we're investing in, then make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell so that you get notifications when new videos are released. We do at least 3 videos a week, all market related. And it seems like people like them, so you might too. Now to end, let's just look at some pictures of Richard Liu again. Oh, Richard, what a handsome guy. So friendly looking. Just so happy all the time. Look at him. He's having the time of his life managing JD. You ever see a CEO with that much joy in his eyes? Well, that's not Richard. That's not Richard either. Okay. All right, Google image search has gotten real lazy lately. Oh, there we go. Hey, Richard, how you doing? You know, another big benefit of this partnership with Google is that the image search is gonna bring up a lot more pictures of Richard that we get to look at. It's a great pastime. Just look at pictures of Richard and think, you know, why is he smiling so much? He must have a lot of problems managing a multi-billion-dollar company. Or maybe he doesn't. Richard Liu, I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? Richard Liu, sometimes I'm blue and I just look over at you. Richard Liu.